Me and my fleet, y'all, with the feet, y'all. Living now, we're living out it all for you. Finally on my feet, y'all.
Hey guys, you're here with the architect of hip hop anarchy reviewing Logic's latest album, Final Days. Leave a like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit the bell. Let's get to it. Alright, first track, Danger, featuring Morgan Freeman and Funkmaster Flex. Okay, so it's a little redundant unnecessarily, especially for a album that's going to have 30 tracks on it. So it's just a lot of shit to go through. Just to have this on there, it makes it longer and unnecessary. But yeah, you want to help with the presentation and everything to make the album juicy. So anyhow, I gave this a 3 out of 5 for the contribution to the whole album. Again, it's not a music track, but it's a track a D part of the project. And 0 out of 5 for the replay value. 0 out of 10 for the replay value. I don't want to hear this track again. Alright, second track, Tetris. Nice beat, nice flow in the lyrics. It's a good track overall. It does lack creativity, it does lack lyrical depth, but it's a decent track, fun to listen to for the most part. So I gave it 3.5 out of 5 for the rating, and then a 4 out of 10 for the replay value. Little issues with the composure, and like I said, the lyrics wasn't all that deep, but you know, decent track. So yeah. Alright, track number 3, In My Lifetime. Nice collaboration with Action Bronson. However, the lyrics from both guys was subpar. Really no creativity on the entire track. What you heard from both guys you would hear in this track is just probably the average of both of them being displayed on this track. And the composition is kind of lacking. It's not. It's just kind of like it's a shock value song with two artists who have pretty much cult followings that collaborated, and you know, it is what it is. So I gave this track a 2 out of 5 for a rating, because the best part of this song is really they kept it short, and then 2 out of 10 for replay value. I won't really listen to the track again. Okay, track number 4, Decades. Okay, so the flow is lacking, and his delivery feel forced on this track. The beat is good, but delivery pulls away from the beat, so it kind of takes away from the production and the composition of the track. His lyrics are simplistic, which is a common thing. I like Logic. He's just not that outstanding of a lyricist, and just not a knock at him. It just is what it is. But again, just keep it short and simple. 3.5 out of 5 for the rating, and 4 out of 10 for the replay value. Decent track, but you know, make of it what you will. Alright, track number 5, JJ Abrams. It's a good reference for the album, see how all the celebrities he know and have been dealing with throughout his career, and of course there's gonna be many more throughout this album. But yeah, it's a decent track. It's short, 19 seconds, but you know, again, just more filler on the track, on the album. So I gave it 4 out of 5 for what it's worth, and a 0 out of 10 for replay value. Yeah, not gonna I'll skip this if I'm listening to this album. Alright, track number 6, Black White Boy. Nice track and straight to the point. Logic reminds us once again that he's mixed and he's a black white rapper. You know, and certain elements he normally mentions through his music that the game need to respect lyricists and talent, and his reason for retiring is, you know, he feel like it hasn't done that, and again, he's been in the game for a minute now. 5 out of 5 for the track. It was a good track, so that's the rating, 5 out of 5. Everything seemed to work, even though, you know, he didn't go too much in on his mixed race in this album. This is literally the only song he really mentions it, so that's a good thing. 3 out of 10 for the replay value. It's low because I won't listen to this track again. It's a decent track, but it's not going to compel me to listen to it again. Alright, Quasi, track number 7. Logic dedicated this track to his favorite producer, Matt Lib, as his alter ego is Quasimodo. It's a nice track, 5 out of 5 for the rating, 6 out of 10 for replay value. Decent track, nice dedication, some that could be visited again. Alright, track number 8, Bleed It. Nice sample of the BC Boys song, check it out. Good creativity and feel. This track actually has a unique feel compared to all the other tracks on the album. It has a rock-ish type feel to it, and it is my favorite track on the entire album. So like the rock vibe that it has, and the lyrics is pretty cool. Everything that works for the track. 5 out of 5 for the rating, and then an 8 out of 10 for replay value. Definitely one of my favorite song, and I definitely added it to my playlist. Alright, it's track number 9, Ladonna. I don't understand why this track is called Ladonna, but he vents about his music critic, Anthony Fantano. You may know him as a Needle Drop. If you're watching this video, you probably know him because he's definitely a much more established music critic than I am. And actually I think it's the #1 on YouTube. But again, he has a history with criticizing Logic. Logic vents to him, and this is kind of a reconciliation track. It's a really nice track, very well done. Yeah, so there's some criticism. He has made amends with him, and he features him on this album. So this track was pretty nice, well put together overall. But again, I don't understand why it's called Ladonna, so I gave it a 4 out of 5 for the rating and a 5 out of 10 for replay value. All right, track number 10, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the Green Bay Packers quarterback. I think the track is something about him making a reference to a tour they had back in the day. And I guess it's 1 out of 5 and 0 out of 10 for replay value. Just feel it for the album. All right, track number 11, Klaus. Logic, Langston Bristol, and Currency all delivered a nice verse on this track. The transition wasn't as good as the first part of the song, but it worked. I gave it a 5 out of 5 for the rating and a 5 out of 10 for the replay value. Decent track overall. Okay, track number 12, Michael Rapaport. This is probably the best interlude on the album. Not because I wanted to hear Logic get roasted, but it just fit and it stood out and it's funny. Michael Rapaport is an actor, hell of a personality, and he goes in on Logic on this track. It's pretty funny. I gave it a 5 out of 5 for the rating, and then a 7 out of 10 for replay value, because if I hear this on the track, I might just be okay listening to it and let it play through. Okay, track number 13, Therapy Music. Russ is killing it on the first verse. The beat is very nice. Logic approach was too familiar on this track. It just, again, it pulls away from the creativity. However, it doesn't hurt the song enough to take away the points from it, but his verse was nice, and it goes on par with the rest of the song. He seemed to rumble at some points on the track, and it seems to hurt the verse, like he just kind of off kilter at some point, but not a big deal. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 for the rating, and then a 6 out of 10 for replay value. All right, track number 14, Tony Ravalori. Okay, so he's the guy from Spider-Man. He played Flash Thompson in the latest Spider-Man Homecoming trilogy. He's a funny skit. Gave 5 out of 5 for the rating, and then a 4 out of 10 for replay value. Again, more experience of celebrities knowing Logic and being displayed on this album. Alright, so track number 15, RowOne. Nice beat and flow. Logic delivers well on this track, but his subject matter is a little redundant and it takes away from creativity. There's another song of him giving a little insight of his career and experiences. I wish sometimes he could be a little more vivid, but he does a pretty good job. So I gave this track a 4 out of 5 for a rating, and then a 4 out of 10 for replay value. Okay, track 16, Breath Control. Wiz Khalifa flows pretty nice on this track. It fits pretty well. Good pacing overall. Logic has that fast-paced flow. It does fit well too. However, this song kind of had a feel that it was like part of a song that he didn't finish, that he just added his track to. And again, that redundancy, that creativity is like, sometimes when you listen to Logic, it's like you listen to the same song because of that. Not a bad track, it just gave that feel, but I gave it 4.5 out of 5 and a 5 out of 5. Well, that's for the rating, and then a 5 out of 10 for the replay value. All right, track number 17, Logic got time for the smoke, I guess. So Nims is a rapper in New York. He reached out to Logic on his voicemail and pretty much dissed him. But if you don't know Nims, he's the guy that with the Bing Bong thing that went viral with the Sneeko character. So he has a song also called Bing Bong. So that's who he is. But anyhow, I gave this track a 5 out of 5 for the rating, and then a 4 out of 10 for replay value. Okay, track 18, Notwar. So Notwar is an interviewer that brings out a lot of mystery art and tracks like this out of an artist. Nice beat and composition, but the lyrics can go. The lyrics weren't there for me. But for those briefly who don't know Notwar, just check him out. He has a compilation of how he has pulling out stuff with artists that just leaves them in awe and mystery about how their history is and things they like and stuff that no person really should know but them. So anyhow, gave this track a 4 out of 5 for the rating, and then a 2 out of 10 for the replay value. All right, so track number 19, Kickstyle. So this track was really bad. Okay, terrible. I am J Mars, Big Limbo, C. Castro. I hope they was all freestyling. This is what I call ramble rap. Like, honestly, what the fuck are they talking about while they talking about it? Just throwing up stuff, rapping, making noise. I mean, and that's why I would call it, because nothing is coherent for me. I mean, I understand what they're saying, but it just doesn't make sense for them to say it. 1.5 out of 5 for the rating, and then 2 out of 10 for replay value. Yeah, this is a bad track, right? All right, track number 20, Early Bird. So this is an Earl Sweatshirt contribution track. Earl Sweatshirt does beats, he sample, and he also raps. And Logic is showing some reference to him, and just an interlude. So without further ado, 4 out of 5 for the rating, and then 2 out of 10 for the replay value. All right, track number 21, 10 Years. The beat is decent, but Logic's redundancy kills it every time. He reminds us he's a rapper. He's been doing it for 10 years. Of course, we all know that. Anybody who's slightly familiar with Logic knows he's been in the game for a while. I wouldn't call him mainstream because, again, you don't hear him on the routine radio. But satellite radio, you may catch him, a lot of him. Love Royce da 5'9", but Royce da 5'9" couldn't save this track. The lyrics for both of them were underwhelming. And I gave this track a 3 out of 5 for rating, and then a 3 out of 10 for replay value. They have another song that they did some years ago called Caterpillar. Check that out. And I think Logic also killed that track in a bad way when he started venting about his mixed race. So, yeah. Alright, track number 22, Porter 1. So this track has a similar feel to the track before it. It was great to hear RCA's voice. He seemed to be spazzing on the track and it comes off weird. Lyrics are so-so, 2 out of 5 for the rating, and then a 4 out of 10 for the replay value. So track 23, we circle around. This is Needle Drop. We circle around back to Anthony Fantano. His YouTube videos or channel was called The Needle Drop, and now I think it's named after him, Anthony Fantano, which is a music reviewer, music critic. See that Logic has a thing for his critics. I think this guy got to him, and he left a voicemail for the album, and it seemed really weird because it's like it was out of place. He didn't know what to say, and I guess Logic gave him no instructions. But again, 5 out of 5 for the rating and 2 out of 10 for replay value. Alright, track number 24, introducing Izzy. I think it's nice when Logic reach out and other artists like that reach out to help other artists that's not well known. Nezzy seemed to be an African Nigerian artist, female, and she sounds a lot like Logic in a lot of ways. I don't know if he wrote for her, she wrote for him, or she just inspired by him, whatever the case may be. But didn't really like the track lyrics on the track. The track was decent overall. Everything else didn't work, but the lyrics were very underwhelming. And I gave it a 4 out of 5 for the rating, and then a 3 out of 10 for the replay value. So yeah. Right, track 25, Orville. Okay, so the beat was really nice on the track, and Logic did a pretty good job lyrically. It was a little above average. He set a good momentum, but it was killed by the featuring artist, Blue X Allen. Like, it was really underwhelming. Like, they really hurt the track a lot. So I gave this 2.5 out of 5 for the rating and a 4 out of 10 for the replay value. Okay, track number 26, Carnival. This track is just very reminiscent of the peak 90s hip-hop, where the definition of an MC was always examined pretty much by every New York artist. AZ is, of course, an underrated legend. It's always good to see him on the track, but this track is just okay. The beat and collaboration was pretty nice. I have no idea what this track was called, why it was called Carnival, but it is what it is. I gave it a 3 out of 5 for the rating and a 3 out of 10 for the replay value. Alright, track 27, Selena In Sight. Selena Waithe is an actress who has some friendship with Logic, but this track is extremely vague, as you can't really make out what she's saying or referencing to or talking about. It's like Logic is pranking his friends by telling them just to leave a voice message on his for him to put on his album, and like they have no direction, they have no idea what they're gonna leave, so they just say whatever, and he puts it on there. I think that's pretty tacky, and it takes away from the substance of the album. It's like, hey, just tell people you know me. But 3 out of 5 for the rating, and then a 1 out of 10 for replay value. Alright, track number 28, Final Days. This is Logic's best so far. This is a nice dedication to his fans. The beat is superb. It features DJ Premier. It is on point. Great track. Again, best track on the album thus far. 5 out of 5 for the rating, and a 6 out of 10 for replay value. Alright, track 29, Guess I Love It. So, surprising collaboration with The Game, who I consider to be one of the best lyricists out of Cali, like easily one of the best, if not the top 3, top 2. Ending transition of the song was phenomenal. Love it. I didn't like Logic's verse, was very different pace and set from Game's, which is okay, but it wasn't as good in my opinion. And then that transition, which I wish was the most of the song, came in, and that was really nice. And then that's the transition you had to hear at the beginning of this video. But and I can listen to that all day. I love the transition. It was really nice. So anyhow, I gave this a 4.5 out of 5 for the replay value, and then a 6 out of 10. I'm definitely returning to hear this track, especially that transition alone. Love it. So this track serves a nice outro for the album. Last but not least, track number 30, Sayonara. Logic gives his farewell to Def Jam for being with them for 10 years, a decade, and it's a pretty decent track, pretty long, and what you would expect from a final track to wrap up what he is trying to get across with this album. So This is a 5 out of 5 for the rating and a 4 out of 10 for the replay value. I'm going to give the final thoughts and a full wrap up of this album with the rating and accolade. Okay, so Final Days, Logic's latest project album, pretty decent overall. There's a lot of good and bad to take away from this album. So the good is that Logic was very transparent. He gave you insight about his career and how all the relationships he developed is a good thing. He was able to establish friends, enemies, and learn how to deal with criticism. I mean, it was a lot to take away from this album. And if you didn't get an idea of his career, this is a good way to put it on display. The bad is you had bad features on this album, and one of the worst of the features were Funkmaster Flex. Okay, he's not a rapper, but his voice and his presence sometimes seem clownish. It seems forced and very cringe-worthy, just very off-putting. So that deals with the composition of the album that really hurts it. So yeah, this album rating and replay value is about to be taken in consideration from all that we've viewed on this album, and let's see what the score says. All right, so there's 30 songs on this album. There's 5 stars per track that can be acquired. So 5 times 30 is 150. There's a total of 150 points this album can get, plus the additional 20 for additional criteria, which includes composition, fulfillment, and other things like that, which is a total of 20 points additional. So 150 plus 20 makes 170. This album got 101.15.5 for the song score, and then the additional criteria, the 16 points, gave it a total of 131.5 out of 170, which gives it a 7.7 rating. Okay, that rating gives it an accolade of good hip-hop. This is a good hip-hop album based on that score. The replay value is very low. It was 110 out of 300, which gave it a rating of 3.6 out of 10. Gave it 7 because I rounded up, but no biggie. Best song is Bleed It. Favorite song, Bleed It. Best hook, Tetris. Best beat is Therapy Music. Best verse is Tetris verse 1, and best feature is Russ. Hey guys, thanks once again for watching. This is Hip Hop Anarchy, again, the Architect. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and of course here on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, follow, give us feedback, leave comments. I know there's a lot of mistakes, trials and errors in this video. I'm a one-man army, one-man band trying to make this happen and work. So there's a lot of things in store in the future that's going to be grand. I just need to get there. So I'm trying to push out content to give you guys an idea where we're going. So thank you for all your time and support. And we look forward to see you again in the future. Take care, guys.